Hello. We're going to give everybody a minute. I'm going to make sure my mic is up and my echo is turned all the way down. Let's see if more lighting helps. You're going to hear real life going on behind me, so just so everybody knows. Light. Oh, my hair's a wreck. You wouldn't believe me even if I told you. This is Amy from Little Farm Quilts, and it has been a hot minute since I have done a video. I believe it's been over a month. Yeah. It would be, I think it's difficult, so welcome to my channel. I struggle with even knowing how to start these days, but this video is my Flosstube. I don't know what Flosstube number it is because I didn't look before I came on. This is my 2020 Flosstube recap and my plans for 2021. So welcome. Thanks for joining. If you're watching this after the live has ended, thanks for plugging in and watching. It's been a year, right? Yeah. So I'm going to start by talking about 2020 in general. And I don't think you can speak about 2020 without talking about the pandemic a little bit. Yeah, so I'm a nurse. I started this year as a nurse manager in home care. I transitioned to a nurse educator at a local nursing college in September. And now I am a nurse educator slash helper on, it looks like they're going to put me in long-term care to help. So, it's been an interesting year from a healthcare perspective for sure. My face is broken out from wearing masks all the time. So I'm sorry about that, but I can't do anything about that right now. And of course, you know, it's how many days from Christmas? 5 days to Christmas. And we're trying to get ready for that, which is going to look a lot different this year. Yeah. Hi, Audria. So I guess that's my little spiel about 2020 and the pandemic. Monday, tomorrow, I go into long-term care to assist for tomorrow. Then I work at the college on Tuesday, and then I am off until, hi, Gail. I am off until the 4th of January. So I'm looking forward to some off time. But I have had some time to do some plans, and I thought I'd do, so I'm going to talk about my 2021 plans, and that is going to encompass a WIP review. Make sense? So I've looked at a lot of different ways to organize my 2021 stitching. I do want to organize my 2021 stitching. I feel like 2020 was all over the place. Started off a lot of things, didn't finish a whole lot. I was very much a seaweed, stitch what you want when you want, which I think that there's benefit to that because stitching is kind of therapeutic for me. So I enjoy being a seaweed, but I also want to finish some things and get them on my walls. So I need to bring some sort of organization in. So that being said, I looked at a few things. I looked at Jen Lee's 24 Hours of Cross Stitch Planner. I actually tested it out for her on my Surface, and it worked really well. It works really well, and I think someday I will get to a point where I'm using that. I don't want to organize it to that degree yet, I guess, if that makes sense. But, so I've adopted a couple other things. I did join the group Full Coverage Fanatics on Facebook because I do have one full coverage piece, and so I want to make that a priority as well. That full coverage piece is also my oldest standing WIP. So there you go. And I also have made out a WIP Go board, WIPGO Search for them on Facebook, you'll find it. It's from Jessie Marie Does Stuff. If you watch her on YouTube, it's her Facebook group. And I have done a Whip Go board. That being said, I'm not posting. I don't think I'm going to commit to posting in each of these groups as they would like you to. And so this is mainly just for me. I don't think I'm going to have a whole lot of time to post. If I do, I will. If I don't, I won't. And my glasses look really crooked. But anyway. So I have filled out a Whip Go board. So what I've done is I've done a combination of things. If anybody has not seen the Whip Go board, you can go to the Facebook group and print it out, or you can download a digital version of it and you can fill it in yourself. So the first thing I'm going to do is go through my Whip Go board, what I put on it, and what my goal is. My 11 projects made it on my Whip Go board. So there are, I think there's 25 spaces. 11 projects made them on. So there are many that are on here more than once because I want to get them focused on. So I'm just going to go through them first. I guess that's a good place to start, right? So I ironed things for you guys today. I think that's the first ever. So my first whip that is on my Whip Go board, let's go there first. And I took a picture of it, but I don't know if it's going to show up because I was racing around trying to get done. My Mushroom and Fern mandala. I can't even show it to you because it's on the large frame down in the basement, and now I can't show you the picture either. But it is a chatelaine. I started it, I want to say in February or March of this year. I have a good section of it done. I stitch on it pretty regularly. I have moved it down on its frame to the basement into my craft area because our living area is going to be host to a small Christmas gathering, so I didn't want it up there in the middle of the gathering. After Christmas, that will come back up into the living room, and it will be part of our furniture, so to speak, and I will be stitching on it pretty regularly. That made it on my Whip Go board. Let's see, how many times? 3 times. So Whip Go board, if you don't know, so they'll call every month. They call one of these letters, or 2 of these letters, and 2 numbers, and it works just like bingo. Wherever it lands, those are your 2 pieces for the month that you have your goals lit on. My goal for every one of these projects is to stitch on 10 days out of the month. That doesn't mean that's the only thing I stitch on that day. That just means my hands are on this project 10 days out of the month. So it still allows me to be a seaweed. I just need to meet my goal first, and then I can move on to other stuff. That's kind of, see where I'm going with that? So if I meet my goal, then I get rewarded. Basically how that goes. So my Mushroom and Fern mandala is on here 3 times, sorry. The next one that's on here is Coming to America by Brenda Gervais. This isn't even in a project bag because I have this nice little box. It's being stitched on 40 count. I think it's, let me show you. This is how far I've gotten. Not super far. Not super far. Probably should show it back here where you can see it. Not super far. Coming to America. Made it on the Whip Go board for 2 days. So twice during the year, that will become my focus piece for that month. That doesn't mean that's the only time I'll stitch on it. It just means that I'm definitely stitching on it those times. I think it's 40 count. It's on the called for. Vintage Country Mocha. I knew I had it on the tip of my tongue. I just could not remember it. So that's that one. And you guys are going to have to bear with me. I am going to put these away while I'm doing this because otherwise it's a huge amount of stuff for me to put away later. And we have a lot going on today. So that's that. The second one that made it to my Whip Go board, I have everything so neatly stacked I'm almost shocking myself here, is, oh, you heard our puppy. Huckleberry Farm, the blue flower, Jenny McGowan. I just watched her Flosstube today. I'm always kind of impressed by her and how her brain works. I don't think my brain could work that much if I tried. I have made some progress on this since I showed it to you last. Can't decide which way I want to show it. There you go. And as you can see, I'm parking threads now. This is being stitched on 18 count shale by Picture This Plus. It's Ada. And it's coming out very good. Called for DMC for this one. I just love the house. And I have been working on that pretty regularly, so I can't even, I gotta find somewhere else to put this stuff. There, we'll shove it over there. Okay. I think, did I tell you Huckleberry Farm made it on there? I have all these statistics for you guys, twice. I do too, Gail. It's like one of my favorites. The next one that made it on the Whip Go board is Kringles by Little House Needleworks. I just like it. Do you see a theme going? These are all big projects so far. And I have been working on this one. You're going to notice I have a part thread at the moment. This is being stitched on 30 count Parisian Gray Legacy. And that's what's called for. I have not gotten as far as I wanted to this month, but I've been super busy between teaching school and going to school myself. And just the busyness of having a new puppy. Holy crap-o-ly. However, wouldn't give it up for anything. And I'm totally making progress on that roof. I was stitching on this actually this morning. And I don't know. I may stitch on it today, later today, when things kind of calm down here. Got a lot going on. Decided to buy new furniture, give our other furniture to our son who moved back from Houston, who is now in his own apartment. He would love to have a couch. So, you know, we're good parents. We'll give him our couch. We'll just go buy a new one. So we're busy. That all culminated today. So that's what I was doing before I came on the video. I do have big projects, Gail. Everything that made it to Whip Go is a big project. Everything. So all 11. Let me see. Where did I leave off? Oh, Kringles made it on there twice. So the next one we're going to talk about, this is the 2020 Pandemic Sampler. This is done by Sarcy Girl on Instagram. Her name is Christy. It is a beautiful pattern. Absolutely beautiful. I love it a lot. And I love stitching on it. I am stitching this with all the called for DMC. I'm stitching it on 36 count Extrude Design Dirty Linen. I ordered Extrude Designs fabric just to try, and I will order them all day long. Love them. This one made it on to the Whip Go board 3 times. And this is my start. Let me fold this in half so you can actually see it. This linen is absolutely, it's my jam. So can you see? Let's let that focus. Let's try back here. There we go. This linen is the bomb. It is awesome. I stitch in hand. Sometimes I struggle stitching in hand. This linen is not a struggle. I can hold this. It's just, it smells good. It stitches nice. It's not super slubby, but it's got character. Let me just open this up so you can see it. It's got some modeling. It's a nice neutral gray. It's just nice. I love it. I would order more of it in a heartbeat. Thanks, Gail. I like those colors too. The next one that made it on my Whip Go board was Southern Land by All Forest Embroidery. It made it on twice. My printout's all kind of crumply, but you see that? I've also made progress on this since last time I showed it to you guys. I made it across to the other corner. I keep going to the wrong side. Let's do this. And I'm adding in more colors on this side over here. I kind of just got sick of the blue over here, so I went on to do other things. I have not stitched on that in about a week or so, but I do love it. And it's easy to stitch on too. It's being stitched on, I believe it's a 36 count Winter Moon. And that made it on, I think I told you guys, twice. The next one that made it on was Pandemic from Long Dog. It made it on 3 times, mainly because it's a big project. There's no way I'm getting it done in 2021, but I would definitely like to make some progress. If anybody hasn't seen it, it was for free for a period of time, and now I do believe it's for sale on their website. This is being stitched, I'm using silks from Silks for You, a nice black silk. I'm loving working with that. And it's being stitched on 40 count Heritage by Picture This Plus. And that's how far I've gotten. I was trying to go for a page finish, so I was bringing this down so I could get some pages done. But now I'm just going to stitch what I want to stitch because I've decided, I thought for a couple of days I was thinking maybe page finishes is the way to go, so at least then I feel like I'm finishing something, but it is what it is. I like the big projects. I did see Gail and, yeah, I may have to too. I was going to talk about that towards the end. Modern Folk Embroidery does a sew along every year. And they started a Flosstube too, Yakov did, so now I'm really enabled. But yes, I saw that, and I was toying with it too, except I have a different, I have a start, I definitely want to either start Christmas Day or New Year's Day, and I haven't decided which yet, and I'll show you that when we get there. I'm trying to find a picture, here we go. Teresa Kogut's Land That I Love. That made it on here twice. I really have not stitched on this at all in the last month or so. I think because I've been working on my Christmas stitching. This is on 40 count Beach Brew by R&R. I did make it over to the other corner, but I really have not done anything on it since. Kind of crazy. Because now that I get all these things out, I just want to stitch on all of them. Alright, so the next one is a series of patterns. It is Jack Frost Tree Farm. I do believe I put part 1. I'm going to show you the pattern because there's several different parts. Jack Frost Tree Farm made it on here just once. And that doesn't mean it's the only thing only time I'll stitch on it, but it does mean that month it will become a focus. So I got part 1, part 2, and I'm working on part 3. There are 7 parts in this series. I would love to have this done for next Christmas. I plan to make a pillow out of it to put on my couch. So I would love, I'm stitching this on 28 count coffee tea dyed Monaco that I did myself. Alright, next one is Halloween Quaker by Lila Studio. This one. I'm stitching it on 28 count Anubis by, I think it's Lakes Under the Sea. And I don't have much of a start on this. This made it on there once, I think. I just have a start on the witch. So not much of a start at all, but I would like to make some progress on this, so I put it on the board. It's another big one. I'm doing it with, I don't think the called for threads, I'm substituting my own. What I had in my stash. That was a stash dive project. And the annulus looked good, and I had threads that would work. So there you go. This one made it on 3 times, mainly because I absolutely love stitching on it. It's called Emily's House by Stephanie at Lindy Stitches. Not the called for. I pulled my own threads for this. I pulled some threads, I pulled some silks, I pulled, you know, and this is where I am. Look at the house. I plan to give that some love in 2021. And I believe this is the last one on my Whip Go board. This would be Cardinal Points. It made it on once. I'm going to show you the pattern through my bag. See it? I started this on Leap Day with 2 martini stitches. I'm stitching on 36 count Winter Moon that I tea-dyed. And this is the one, you guys all remember, I haven't worked on this in a while because I'm kind of in a timeout, that I got all the way to the corner and see how close I am to the edge. And I have decided to keep stitching. It's going to get a little closer to the edge because it's got a row of black that goes right down there next to that. Yeah. And I'll figure out what I'm going to do to frame that. I'm probably going to have to add some fabric to the side so that I can frame that. But that's coming back out. That's going on the Whip Go board. So that is, those are my Whip Go board items. Now, in addition, let me grab my other stack. My other Whip Go. So I have my Whip Go board. So 2 of those will get called every month. And those will, I will stitch on them at least 10 days those months. I will also have 1 smallish focus project for each month. So for January, I have Tired Trio by Plum Street. And this is where I am. Pulling my own threads for this. Some of the called for, some of my own. So that's that. February. My piles are going to avalanche here in a second. February is Tokens of Love by Brenda Gervais with a needle and thread. Let's see if we can show you the right way. There you go. So you got that. This is some of the called for, some of my own. Stitching it on 32 count French Roast by R&R. This is where I'm at. Let's see, we're up to March. I'm trying to put these back in neatly. See how that goes. March is a modern folk embroidery. It's called Kindness and Fortitude. And here it is. I'm stitching this on 18 count Ada that I dyed Midnight Blue. And I'm stitching it with white. Seems almost a shame to fold up these nicely ironed things. Oh my goodness. Which one's this one? This one's April. October 31. Brenda Gervais. don't have only big projects. I just have quite a few big projects. And this is where I'm at. And I honestly think if I could focus on some of these smaller ones, if I could make them, you know, because in the month, I will have 4 projects every month that I'm stitching on, that this would, some of these I can get done. Then in May, let's start throwing these on the floor. I'm part of the Truckin' Along Club, where the Real Housewives of Cross Stitch. So in May, the June truck is going to be my focus. I've got called for fabric, called for threads. It's 14 count black chalkboard Aida. This is where I'm at. And I'm doing these all as one piece. So there's the banner and then there's the truck down here. This isn't taking as long as I thought it was going to take. Thanks, Gail. In June, it's going to be Every Heart by Country Cottage Needleworks. This didn't even get a project bag. I'm not sure why, but it doesn't. I'm stitching this, it looks like on 28 count Monaco tea-dyed. This is where I'm at. And something like this I should be able to finish. So there's really no excuse for some of these not to get finished in 2021. Wait till we get to the end and I tell you my real commitments for 2021. Besides all this. So in July, I'm going to focus on Christmas List by Silver Creek Samplers. I had started this on a Petty Point 18 count Aida fabric, a gray Petty Point, and I did not like it. I gave my start to my mom. She's going to finish it on that fabric because she likes it. And I restarted it on 40 count Beach Brew. I believe it's R&R. Yep, 40 count Beach Brew by R&R. And I'm doing it in the Priscilla Blaine colorway. So that's my start. So I haven't gotten very far. I'm doing 1/2 on that. I haven't been good about telling you guys what I'm doing as far as thread count. You can pretty much count on 40 count is where I start to do 1 thread over 2. I like the coverage of 2 threads over 2 on 36 count and below. So you can pretty much count that that's how I'm stitching it. It's just what I've decided that how I like it. What was that? That was Christmas List. Okay. So in August, I'm going to focus on the September truck. I have all of these, by the way. I think February is going to ship soon. September, I didn't have as big of a start. So I'm going to focus on that in August. The idea is to maybe have it done for September next year. Whoops, I just dropped. Hold on. Oh, please. That was going to happen eventually. All right. In September, I am going to do Halloween Sampler. I had big plans this year to get this one done. I was actually going to stitch on it until it was done, and I did not stick to that plan whatsoever. So that's that. I'm pulling my own threads for this. I'm using Pickled Beets for the accent letters and 310 for the others. I'm doing this on 28 count Monaco that I dyed evening, I think it's black and gray. Nice and mottled. The colors really stand out on that. In October, I will pull this back out for focus. This was a stitch along this year. And this is why, oh nice, Gail. This, I think I saw that in your Flosstube actually, that you were almost done with that one. This is why I have trouble doing stitch-alongs. And Gail, this is why I always debate doing stitch-alongs. Because I don't keep up with them. Something happens and I can't get it done and whatever. So I joined this Stitch Along this year by Barbara Anna. It's called Christmas Cake, and I just liked how it came out. I started this on 32 count Vintage Country Mocha Lugana, and I got part 1 done, and that's actually, no, that's not part 1 done. That's part 1 partially done. There are 4 parts. So if I don't get it done before October of next year, it's coming back out, and it's going to be a focus so that we can get a finish on that. Let me see if I can get this put back together. There we go. In November of 2021, if I don't have this one done before, you can see I'm hopeful that I'm going to have some of these done before that. Bovinia by Plum Street is going to come back out. I'm doing some of the called for, some of my own on this. I'm stitching it on, looks like a 28 count mystery linen. It actually looks like an even, nope, not an evenly, never mind. This is all I've got done. I think this was a Mania start actually. But I also think with this one, if I gave it time, it would get done, right? And then for December of 2021, I've decided to pull out something that I've had in time out because I'm struggling with the colors on this, and it's just, I don't know. Anyway, Harriet Elizabeth Coe. Not the largest sampler in the world, but it certainly is taking me some time to get it done. This is Brenda Gervais as well. I pulled my own threads on this. This is, I believe, 28 count. Hold on. See if I have the tag here somewhere. I know it's 28 count. Something or other. I don't know what it is. I really don't. It looks like mushroom, maybe. Mushroom Lugana. It is a Lugana. 28 count. And I struggle with the colors, whether I like them or not. They're kind of washed out here. So we'll see. I put this down for a focus piece next December. That doesn't mean, again, like that will be the only time that I stitch on it. But you don't really know. We'll have to see. So that's my Whipco board. And so that gives me 2 projects a month. Then I have a focus piece for the month. That gives you 3 projects to work on in a month. And the final piece of this puzzle, which gives me 4 projects to work on every month. Full Coverage Fanatics has a thing going 21,000 stitches in 2021. So my oldest whip is, you guys have seen me show this before, it's almost ridiculous, is Lost No More. I had to start this back in the 90s, maybe early 2000s. I don't really know. It's stitched on 14 count, off-white Ada, nothing special. With all the Dimensions kit threads. And the only reason I've decided to pull this out and do it for Full Coverage Fanatics is I was able to get this to load on Pattern Keeper, so I'm able to count my stitches. That being said, I've had to kind of go into Pattern Keeper and check off the stitches that I think I got done on this. So according to Pattern Keeper right now, it says I have 29,000 stitches left. I think that might be a little high. Actually, I think if I can get 21,000 stitches in, this would be done. That being said, let me take a drink before I cough. So 21,000 stitches in a year seems like a lot. However, I broke it down and it's 1,750 stitches a month, which break that down into a week. That's like 400 some odd stitches, right? I can do 175 in the morning not on a full coverage, but on something else in Pattern Keeper. So to me, 400 and something in this a week doesn't seem like a whole lot. So we'll see. But this is where I am now. I have made some progress. I've been working up in this corner, trying to work. I'm so directionally challenged. Trying to work down and get some of this top filled in. I may work on this again before the end of the year, but probably not. It's probably not what I'm going to be one of my go-tos. Because I'll be stitching on it every day in 2021, probably. So I'm going to try my darndest to get 21,000 stitches. My hope is that 21,000 stitches will finish this. Now, if I'm really wrong on what I have in Pattern Keeper and I actually finish this and have time to start something else, I'm going to start my full coverage Bonded by the Rain, artwork by Leonid Avramov. I ordered a 25 count piece of fabric for this, and I have all the threads. And I'd like to start it, but I would like to get my other full, I only want to have one full coverage going at a time. So this will wait until that other full coverage is finished. So I have full coverage piece that I'll be working on. I will have 2 that will be called through the whip go board every month. And I have the 1 focus piece per month. That gives me 4 projects to focus, to alternate in between every month. That should do it for me. That should be a seaweed. Enough for me to be able to get something done. That being said, we all know that life can happen and goals just don't get met. So I've kind of, in my head, said that if I don't meet my goal that month, I'm just going to notate that the goal not met, and I'm just going to start fresh the next month. I'm not rolling things over into the next month. I'm going to do the best I can. I enjoy my stitching. I don't want to not enjoy my stitching. So that being said. So those 11 on my whip go board, my 1 full coverage, which makes 12, and then my 12 monthly focus pieces mean I have 24 whips. There are 3 that are left behind for 2021. And I'm not disappointed by that. I mean, would I like to stitch them? Sure. But unless I get time, I'm not gonna. The thing with 2021 is I'm gonna meet my stitching goals before I can move on to something else. That's gonna focus my stitching. I'm also gonna stitch from stash. So my purchasing of stitchy items is done. I'm stitching from stash. I have more than enough stuff. Linen, patterns, thread to keep me busy for a good long time. And I'm going to do the same with my sewing. And stitch from stash. Yeah. I want to get some stuff done. I want to stitch some things. I bought these things because I want to stitch them. So there we go. I'm going to stitch. There were 2 projects in my bin when I went through it this morning that I actually think I could finish if I sat down and did it before the end of the year. This was one of them is I'm a Patreon of Ink Circles, and she had put out quite a while ago this love bug pattern for patrons only, and I started it, oh Lord, long time ago. Let me hold that sequence like that, and I would like to get it done, so I think I'm going to probably pick that up and try to get that done before the end of the year. And the other one is one that I started very recently. It's a smaller sampler. It's called Alphabet, and it's by Willow Hill Samplings. And I've got quite a bit of it done. So I just need to sit down and do this and get it done. My husband's phone. But yeah. So those two I'm going to sit down and start working on and try to get them done by the end of the year, just because I like them and I'd like to get them done and out of the bin. So I think that'll work. I think that's planned enough for me not to feel like it's super pressurized. At the end of the day, I'm going to stitch what I want to stitch anyway, so it doesn't matter. But I'd like it to focus, right? So does that mean I'm not going to start anything? No, that's not what that means. So I have two definite starts for next year. And this one that I'm going to show you, so I almost want to do a Christmas Day start, except I know it's going to be busy here on Christmas Day, so it's probably not going to be Christmas Day, it's probably going to be the day after Christmas Day. The first one I'm going to do, and this might be my New Year's Day start, is called Queen of Freedom. I don't have my picture in here. So you guys can Google Mirabilia Queen of Freedom. I have all the threads, and I have the We the People fabric, and I want to stitch her on that. And I've been dying to start her, and I've kind of just been holding off till I get my stitching under a little bit of control. I think she's going to be my New Year's Day start. And she's in a big bag because she's got lots of floss in her. What I wanted to be a Christmas Day start, but it was probably going to be the 26th start. Oops. Hold on, let me get this out of here. A Yuletide Welcome by Plum Street Samplers. I love that house. I have to pull a linen yet for this, but I did order. I have all the called for. I have all the Gentle Arts, all the MPIs, the DMCs, and I have to pull linen out of my stash. But I think that'll be a Christmas Day or around Christmas Day start. It may be a Christmas Eve start. Christmas Eve is our anniversary. Our church is broadcasting Christmas Eve service online this year. You know, sign of the times. So yeah, those are two definite starts. There are a lot of other potential starts that are in the running, and I just brought a few up to show you. So one of them is the Zimmerman coverlet by Modern Folk Embroidery. This is an adaptation of a historical coverlet that Ellen from Cross Stitch Power Hours family has. I have this, and I bought this to do it with. And I was thinking about doing just this center section and making a drum out of it, and maybe doing some of these motifs, the tree motifs, on the top. That's what I was thinking. So I have that one. The other one I have, and I have several others downstairs, and I have lots of patterns, so these plans could change. Oh, blink of an eye. The other one I'd like to do is this Little House Needleworks Lantern Lane. I've had it since probably early 2019. I would like to stitch that. I have all the no, I pulled my own threads for that one. This one is Bobbing for Pumpkins by Brenda Gervais. I'd like to do that one. And I have all the called for, and I have 36 count doubloon in here to stitch it up. The other things that I would like to do, so I started Snow Village. I only have 1, 2, 3. I guess I have 5 of them left to do. I have Snow Boutique. Oh, sorry. I have Ice Creamery. I have Snow Cone Cart. And I have Iced Coffee Cafe. and snowball stand. And I'm holding this for a long time because I'm kind of hoping YouTube takes a good snapshot. Some of the screenshots that it puts in the beginning of my videos is totally ridiculous. But I like to work on that series, so that's up for grabs. I also have, I already showed you guys this. This is all the housewives ornaments that I've been working on. I like to keep that going in my plans, which you guys are going to laugh at me, but I showed you 2 finished ornaments that I needed to FFO, and I cannot find them anywhere. I'm sure they'll show up. The other thing that I would like to start is Autumn Royalty by Stephanie at Lindy Stitches. And there are so many other ones. So many. I have so many patterns that I would love to stitch that I just, yeah, I have to make time to stitch. I teach and I'm in school myself, so it is whenever I have time. I have started taking stuff to lunch with me. Been eating at my desk, like when I'm at the college, I eat at my desk, and then stitch during my real lunch hour. Because we're not allowed to eat in the lunchroom anymore, so we're eating at our desk anyway, so I've been doing that. I've also been really trying to stitch every morning and every evening, but I have sewing things I want to do too, so I've been working on them down there. So that's it. Those are my 2020 wrap up and my 2021 plans. This is my last video until 2021. I hope that you all have a very Merry Christmas. I hope you enjoy your holidays in whatever shape they take. And make sure to count your blessings. Hubby Matt and I were just talking the other day that out of all this, we've learned that we really do like each other. It's not just that we love each other and we're married. We like being around each other. And that's made the isolation not as bad as it could have been. Because if we weren't happily married, that could have been a real nightmare. But to you and yours, have a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, however you celebrate. And know that 2021 has nowhere to go but up. Alright, bye guys.